Imagine walking into your kitchen, slicing the bottom off a head of romaine lettuce. And instead of tossing it into the trash, dropping it into a shallow dish of water, and watching it grow back. Imagine never buying green onions again, because a single bunch you bought 2 months ago has already multiplied itself 4 times over, sitting happily on your windowsill like a tiny green miracle. This is not a fantasy. This is kitchen scrap gardening, and it might just be the most surprisingly powerful, joyful, and money-saving habit you can build in 2024. If you have never tried it before, get ready, because by the time you finish reading this, you are going to look at your compost bin and your vegetable drawer in a completely different way. Let's be honest. Most American households throw away a startling amount of vegetable scraps every single week. The base of the celery stalk, the green tops of carrots, the brown root end of a leek, the papery bulb base of a garlic plant. All of these are typically headed straight for the bin, but here is what most people do not realize. Those so-called scraps are still biologically alive. They still hold the biological blueprint to grow again. Your job, as a beginner gardener or a curious home cook, is simply to give them the right conditions to do what nature already wants them to do. Kitchen scrap gardening is not a complicated science. It does not require a plot of land, a greenhouse, or years of gardening knowledge. What it requires is a little patience, a windowsill, some containers, fresh water, and the willingness to pay attention to your plants. That is genuinely it. Whether you are living in a small apartment in Chicago, a suburban home in Texas, or a coastal condo in California, you have everything you need to start a living, self-renewing vegetable garden using nothing but the food scraps you would otherwise throw away. The first thing to understand is which vegetables regrow most reliably for beginners. Green onions, also called scallions, are the absolute crown jewel of the kitchen scrap world. They regrow faster than almost anything else. They are nearly impossible to kill, and they look beautiful sitting in a glass jar on your counter. To get started, simply take the root ends, the bottom inch or two of the white base, and place them in a glass or jar with about an inch of water. Set them near a window that receives bright light, and within 2 to 3 days, you will already see fresh green shoots pushing upward. Change the water every day or every other day to prevent bacteria from building up. And within 1 to 2 weeks, you will have a full, usable harvest of green onions. You can snip the tops, and they will continue growing back, over and over. Many growers have kept a single jar of green onion roots, producing fresh cuts for 6 months or longer. Romaine lettuce and other leafy green varieties like bok choy and cabbage work beautifully through a similar process. Cut the leaves down to a stump, leaving about 2 inches of the base intact, and place it in a shallow dish or bowl with just enough water to cover the bottom of the stump without submerging it entirely. Place the dish in a warm, bright spot and change the water every day. Within about a week, you will see tiny new leaves beginning to emerge from the center. These new leaves are tender, flavorful, and completely free. While you will not regrow a full head of lettuce this way, you will get consistent, steady harvests of fresh leaves that are perfect for salads and garnishes. Celery is one of the most satisfying vegetables to regrow because the results are so dramatic and visible. Cut the celery stalks away from the base, leaving a 2 to 3 inch stump. Place this flat base stump in a bowl with a small amount of warm water. Cut side up. Keep the bowl in a sunny spot and change the water every couple of days. Within about a week, you will start to see new, tiny pale green celery leaves shooting from the center. Once the regeneration is well underway, usually after about 10 days to 2 weeks, you can transplant the stump directly into a container with moist potting soil. Bury it about halfway, water it gently, and watch it continue to grow into a full, productive celery plant. Homegrown celery tends to be smaller than store-bought stalks, but far more flavorful and aromatic. Garlic is another incredible candidate for regrowing, particularly the garlic greens, which are the young green shoots that emerge when a clove begins to sprout. Rather than throwing away that sprouted garlic clove in your pantry, pop it into a small container of soil, or even a glass of water, pointy end up, and let it grow. Within days, bright green shoots will emerge. These garlic greens are delicious, mild, fresh, and perfect for garnishing soups, eggs, pasta, and anything else you might use chives on. You can also plant individual garlic cloves directly into a pot of rich, well-draining soil, and grow them into full garlic bulbs over the course of a season. Ginger root and turmeric root regrow wonderfully indoors in pots. Simply take a small piece of fresh ginger or turmeric that has at least 1 or 2 growth buds, which look like little nubs or eyes on the surface, and press it just beneath the surface of a rich, slightly moist potting mix. Place the container in a warm location with indirect light. Ginger actually prefers warmth and moderate shade rather than harsh direct sun. Within a few weeks, green shoots will emerge, and over several months, the rhizome will continue to expand underground. You can harvest pieces of it as you need them by reaching into the soil without disturbing the entire plant. Or you can wait for a full harvest. Homegrown ginger and turmeric are significantly more flavorful than the older, drier versions you typically find in grocery stores. Now, getting these scraps started is one thing, but keeping them genuinely healthy and productive requires understanding a few fundamentals that beginners often overlook. Light is perhaps the most critical factor. The majority of vegetable scraps need at least 6 hours of bright, indirect to direct sunlight per day in order to photosynthesize effectively and push new growth. A south-facing windowsill is typically the best location in a U.S. home because it captures the most sunlight throughout the day. East-facing windows provide gentle morning light, which is also suitable for less sun-demanding plants like lettuce and celery. If your home does not receive adequate natural light, which is common in northern states during winter months, a simple grow light placed 8 to 12 inches above your plants and run for 12 to 16 hours a day will serve the same purpose effectively. Temperature matters more than most beginners think. The majority of kitchen vegetables prefer temperatures between 60 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit, which is exactly the range most American homes maintain indoors. What you want to avoid are cold drafts from windows or air conditioning vents blowing directly on your plants, which can stress the root zone and slow growth significantly. Equally, avoid placing plants directly over or near heat registers, as the dry, hot air will cause rapid moisture loss. Consistency is the key. Stable warmth helps these regrowing plants develop strong, healthy root systems. Watering is where many beginner growers inadvertently go wrong. Either in the water method phase or once plants have been transplanted into soil. For the initial water growing phase, the rule is simple. Use clean, room temperature water, change it every 1 to 2 days, and make sure that the base of the scrap is touching water without the entire piece being submerged. Standing water that is not refreshed becomes a breeding ground for bacterial and fungal issues that will rot your scrap before it ever has a chance to root. Once you transition your scrap into soil, you shift to a different approach. Water thoroughly when the top inch of soil feels dry to the touch, allowing water to drain through the bottom of the container. Never leave your container sitting in a saucer of standing water, as this saturates the root zone and invites root rot. In the winter months when indoor air is dry, you may need to water slightly more frequently. In humid summer months, always check the soil before automatically adding more water. Fertilizing your regrown plants becomes important once they are established in soil and have been growing for 3 to 4 weeks. At that stage, the nutrients present in the potting mix begin to deplete, and a light feeding schedule helps maintain lush, vigorous growth. A balanced, water-soluble liquid fertilizer with equal parts nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, something like a 10 to 10-10 formula, works well for most vegetable scraps. Apply it at half the recommended strength every 2 to 3 weeks during the active growing season, which spans spring through early fall. Organic options like diluted fish emulsion or liquid kelp are excellent choices for those who want to keep their kitchen garden entirely natural and chemical-free. Avoid over-fertilizing, which causes an excess of leafy green growth at the expense of root development and overall plant strength. Pruning plays a quiet but important role in keeping your regrown plants productive. For leafy crops like lettuce, celery, and green onions, the practice of harvesting itself is essentially your pruning. Always harvest from the outside of the plant inward, taking the oldest, outermost leaves or stalks first and leaving the tender new center growth to continue developing. This approach extends your harvest window dramatically for herbs and greens that are beginning to bolt, meaning they are sending up tall flower stalks in response to heat or long day lengths. Pinch off the flowering stems immediately. Bolting shifts the plant's energy away from leaf production and causes the flavor to turn bitter. By removing flower stalks as soon as they appear, you encourage the plant to refocus on the new leaf growth that you actually want. Every garden, no matter how small, encounters challenges, and your kitchen scrap garden will be no different. Mold is one of the most common problems beginners face during the water propagation phase. It appears as a fuzzy white or gray film on the base of the scrap or inside the container. The solution is simple. Rinse the scrap thoroughly under cool running water, clean the container with a small splash of white vinegar, rinse again, and add fresh clean water, changing the water more frequently. Every day rather than every other day prevents mold from returning. Yellowing leaves on plants that have been moved into soil usually indicate overwatering, insufficient light, or a nutrient deficiency. Adjust one variable at a time and observe the plant's response before making additional changes. Fungus gnats, the tiny flying insects that sometimes appear around indoor plants, are caused by consistently moist soil. Allow the top layer of soil to dry more thoroughly between waterings, and the gnat population will decline on its own within a week or two. Legginess, where your plants stretch and reach dramatically toward the light with thin, weak stems, is a sign that they are not receiving enough brightness. Move them to a sunnier spot, or supplement with a grow light. Sluggish regrowth after an initial burst of activity is normal, and often just means the plant is putting energy into root establishment underground, before directing resources back toward new leaf growth. Be patient during this phase, and resist the urge to repot or disturb the roots prematurely. The beauty of building a kitchen scrap garden goes far beyond the obvious financial savings, though those savings are genuinely meaningful over time. A household that successfully regrows its green onions, celery, lettuce, and herbs year-round eliminates dozens of grocery trips for those items annually. Beyond the economics, there is a deeply satisfying shift in your relationship with food. When you are growing it yourself, you begin to see the natural cycle of growth and renewal in action, right in your own home. Children who participate in kitchen scrap gardening develop an early appreciation for where food comes from that shapes their relationship with nature for a lifetime. For adults who have never gardened before, it is a gentle, low-stakes entry point into a hobby that offers lifelong joy, connection, and purpose. As you grow more confident with your beginner scraps, you will naturally want to expand. Sweet potato slips, pineapple tops, avocado pits, beet greens, and herb stems from basil, mint, and cilantro are all excellent next steps in your kitchen scrap gardening journey. Each new plant brings its own personality, growth, timeline, and sense of accomplishment. The entire system compounds beautifully. The more you learn about one plant's needs, the better you become at reading all of your plants. You start to notice subtle cues. The slight drooping that signals thirst, the deep color that means robust health, the pale green of a plant that wants more light. These are skills that transfer across every growing space you will ever tend. The path from kitchen trash to table harvest is shorter than most people ever imagine. It begins with a single scrap, a single jar of water, and a single sunny windowsill. From that simple beginning, an entirely new relationship with food, with nature, and with your own home can grow. Your kitchen is not just a place where food ends, it is a place where food can begin again, endlessly and sustainably, season after season after season. If you love learning about seasonal flowering plants, vegetables, gardening tips, and nature care, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Nature Nurture Hub, your home for year-round garden inspiration. Let's keep growing together.